this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have a very special treat for you. We're going to do a juice off. I love doing juice offs and comparing juicers side by side to find out what juicer is better in a yield test. But not only yield, also just how it works, the parts needed to clean, and all that kind of stuff too. So today what we have is the Omega 4000 juicer. Over here on this side we have the Omega BMJ330, called the Omega Big Mouth. So the first thing is obviously the feed chute size. The Big Mouth has about a twice as large feed chute as the Omega 4000. Both juicers are nice and easy. They have a clip snap, so you just basically snap off the clips to easily disassemble these machines. Push those to the side. You can take off the top covers. As you can see, the top cover on the Omega Big Mouth juicer, and that's the feed chute there, how big, and that's how big the feed chute is. Basically twice the size. This is kind of smoke color, so you can kind of see through it, which is kind of nice to see what's going on in the juicer. This is a solid white piece here. The next difference is on this housing here. This is has a black trim ring, and this has a one-piece screen and blade assembly. So that's kind of nice. So you don't have to take it apart. You'll never lose the different pieces. So that's cool. It's kind of light too. And the other thing that's unique about these machines, unlike a lot of machines in this price category, number one, the removable trim ring, which is nice, and the stainless steel bowl, which is really nice. This is all 100% stainless steel here, and that makes cleanup really a breeze with both of these units. Some machines have a plastic, which will tend to actually stain and whatnot. And the new improvement with the Omega Big Mouth juicer is this detachable spout. So this spout basically directs the flow of juice down into the cup. Sometimes what would happen with the Big Mouth, because it is so powerful, moves so quickly, you'd get what I call blow off, and some of the juice would end up getting blown off if you fill your container up too much. So this spout definitely helps to reduce the blow off on that. And if you already did purchase an Omega Big Mouth juicer, give Omega a call. They will send you one of these at no charge. So Omega is constantly working to improve their machine. The other thing you may have noticed on my other Big Mouth juicer videos, there did seem to be a little bit of leakage between the bowl and this piece, the trim ring. And Omega has also improved this trim ring, and I did do a video about the improved trim ring previously. But if you did purchase an Omega Big Mouth juicer and it does leak a little bit around the ring there, call up and they'll send you this piece for free. So that's one of the things I like about Omega, is that they're constantly working to improve their machines and will provide at no cost free upgrades as required in some situations. So with that, this machine does have a 10-year warranty. So it is warranted for 10 full years, and I can't stress enough about the warranties, and that's one of the reasons why I like the Omega products, is because of the long warranties. There's no need to buy an extended warranty when you buy a machine with a long warranty in the beginning. So to assemble this juicer is very easy. You're going to take this top bowl here, put it on the machine. It fits in one spot. Then you're going to put the trim ring on. The trim ring has this little notch here. On this notch, that always needs to be right above the spout. That's very important. Put on the spout. Then you just take the bowl assembly, put that in place, kind of push it in, kind of locks into place there. Then you take the top. It also has a little, it says front here to remind you, and it has a little notch that goes in this notch here. You'll put that on and then snap these down. It should be a nice positive snap, and they should be secure when it's down, and if it's not, and your machine does not turn on, that's because there's built-in safety switch that will not allow the machine to come on if it's not properly assembled. So make sure it's properly assembled, if the machine doesn't turn on. Then you can just go ahead and put the bowl underneath, and in many cases I like to, inside the bowl I like to line it with a produce bag to make cleanup easier. So that's another trick there for you. So that juicer is now ready to go. Let's move over now to this side, the Omega 4000 machine. Now to disassemble this machine, this has a unique clutch nut. So the clutch nut just spins off, real simple and real easy. Then we could basically lift this out. And one of the things I like about the Omega 4000 is that it has a separate basket and blade assembly, or screen and blade assembly. This blade is nice and durable, 100% stainless steel, along with this screen is 100% stainless steel. And now you don't often see that on too many juicers. They usually have a plastic base on them. So real nice. And then you can just basically take the bowl off, pretty much similar to the big mouth bowl. And this piece is also removable there. Once again, 100% stainless steel, makes cleaning a breeze. We're going to put this trim piece right in the middle and make sure that notch is right above the spout. Very important. Put this back together here. Real simple, real easy. And while I'm putting this back together, you know, the Omega 4000 has a 15-year warranty. Now that's the longest warranty in the juicing industry. So you're guaranteed when you buy the Omega 4000 for 15 years, you're going to have a juicer that's going to work for you. Now the whole machine is covered for 15 years. Obviously, much like the brakes on your car, if you buy a brand new car, they don't cover the brakes under warranty. That's because the brakes are a wearing part. The blades are not, you know, covered under warranty because they are a wearing part. The other thing that's unique on the Omega 4000 underneath here is that it has a reset button, which is nice. Most juicers don't have a reset button, so should you overload the circuit, it'll pop the reset button on there, and then you just have to literally press it back in, and you can continue to juice. Once again, this also does have the built-in safety switch that does not allow the juicer to come on unless it's properly assembled. These motors are both very powerful. They've always worked for many years, and they, you know, they have a warranty to back it up, unlike a lot of juicers on the market, and they make big claims of big horsepower, you know, motors. But you know, because a motor is rated at a high horsepower, doesn't mean, you know, it's going to work well for a long time, especially when some of the other juicers in this price category even have shorter warranties. And the motors may be inefficient. These are well-tuned motors. Omega has been making this model for over 10 years. So to assemble this, you put it back together, you tighten up this clutch nut, and then we're just going to go ahead and put the top on. Very simple, very easy. And that's pretty much to it. That's how easy it is to assemble, disassemble the machines, and when you go to clean the machines when you're done juicing, there are very minimal parts to clean. These are two of the easiest machines to clean. And the trick to cleaning these machines is when you're cleaning the screen, you want to get a scrub brush, a nylon bristle scrub brush, and scrub the screens clean. The screens are the hardest part to clean on any juicer, and it's very important to get all the pulp out of the screen, because if the pulp starts to clog the screen holes and then it dries, then your screen holes will basically get clogged and the juice won't be able to flow out, and then that'll diminish your yields. So very important to get the screens clean. Both these juicers, because they have the stainless steel bowls, very easy to clean. Once again, on both these juicers, they have about a similar size collection tub to collect all the pulp, and as I said earlier, you want to line these with plastic produce bag to make cleanup much, much easier. So let's go ahead and put these underneath, and first, let's go ahead and juice with the Omega Big Mouth Juicer. We're going to take 2 pounds of carrots, open up the bag here. We're going to turn the machine on. This machine runs at 10,000 RPM, so it really hauls. It's really quick, and juicing will be done before we know it. I'm going to take and just start putting handfuls of carrots into the machine. They're basically going to be self-juicing. You can see I'm not even having to use the pusher to push them in. As fast as I can put them into the machine is as fast as the Omega Big Mouth Juicer will juice up them carrots. Now we're going to go ahead and push the carrots in. Very important when you're feeding carrots into the juicer, you don't want to just push down a lot. You want to maximize the blade contact time for the highest yield. So we're slowly pushing down the carrots into the machine at a nice and slow rate to maximize our yield. I think we have about 2 more handfuls of carrots left to push into the machine. Alright, that's it. That's all the carrots. In general, every juicer will make on average about 1 cup of carrot juice per 1 pound of carrots. And you know what? That's on average. So some juicers make a little bit more, some make a little bit less. So that was the Omega Big Mouth model BMJ330. Next we have the Omega 4000 juicer up. So let's go ahead and start juicing. This one runs at approximately half of the RPM, or revolutions per minute, and that's how fast a juicer spins. So what that means to you is it means a higher quality juice. Generally lower RPMs mean a higher quality. Plus it also means more blade contact time. So while these juicers are best at juicing hard vegetables like carrots and beets and things like celery and cucumbers and apples, they're not so efficient at juicing leafy greens. So if you want to juice a lot of leafy greens, you might look to like a different juicer like the Omega 8006 that's behind me there, or an Omega 8003 or 8004 or 8005. Be sure to check my other videos on those, but those juicers are best for leafy greens and maybe not so efficient at juicing carrots. So your juicing style will basically determine the best juicer that's going to be right for you. I recommend the centrifugal ejection style juicers. Either one of these juicers for people that are new into juicing, that just want to juice a variety of things, that don't necessarily want to juice a lot of leafy greens. Will these juice leafy greens? Absolutely. They will totally juice leafy greens. They're just not as efficient as other style of juicers. So if you want to juice, 60% hard vegetables and other fruits and things, apples and pears, then one of these would be great. If you want to juice, mostly leafy greens, then the other kind of juicer would be best. And once again, I have other videos on, determining your juicing style and picking the right juicer for you. So be sure to check those videos on YouTube. Without further ado, let's go ahead and juice these carrots and find out how much this juicer is going to yield. Once again, we want to slowly push the carrots in the machine. Don't just cram them through really fast. That'll reduce your yield actually. Alright, so we're almost done juicing the carrots in the Omega 4000 juicer. Alright, and that's it. So let's go ahead and turn this machine off. And what I like to do after juicing on both machines is I like to tip up the juicer a little bit, and you'll always get a little bit more juice out of the machine, otherwise this will end up on your counter. So I think that'll pretty much do it on that. And let's go ahead and tip this one up. There's a bunch of juice left in there. Alright, so as you can see, here's one container and here is the other container side by side. So here are the results. The Omega Big Mouth Juicer made 20 ounces of juice and the Omega 4000 made 16 ounces of juice. So 16 ounces of juice is definitely respectable for the Omega 4000. That's the standard yield that most juicers will get out of 2 pounds of carrots, which is basically 2 cups of juice. So the Big Mouth Juicer made 4 extra ounces of juice. Now, 4 extra ounces definitely will add up over time. And the other thing to notice is the foam content. Because the Big Mouth runs at twice the RPM, you can see here there's a nice larger head on the juice. And the head basically is more oxygen being inundated into the juice, which causes oxidation. So, a low-speed juicer would produce much less oxidation. But just because the juice has some, foam or oxidation doesn't mean it's bad. It's still better than, Coca-Cola, coffee, or other canned and bottled juices that are actually all pasteurized. But the biggest thing to remember is you want to drink the juice right after it's made for the biggest benefit. So hopefully you've learned more about the Big Mouth BMJ330 and the Omega 4000 today. Once again, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.